Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 10, The Opulence of the Absolute, text number 12 onwards. So Arjuna is satisfied by Krishna's explanations that how he is the supreme and the source of everything in this creation. And then he requests him to elaborate further on his characteristics and qualities. Because some people need more clarification, more clarity to develop faith. So in response, Krishna describes the most prominent among his limitless, all-pervading opulence or energies or powers. By doing this, he explains how one can actually think about him, meditate on him, and see him everywhere, and thus learn to remember him. It is not that Krishna is physically all the things that he mentions, but rather he is the source of the opulence of all these things, their strength, fame, wealth, and so on, that he is going to mention. So he names 82 such opulences of his, and then he concludes by stating that these simply hint at his glory, since he pervades and supports the entire universe with a mere fragment of his energy. What he's going to explain in these verses is simply a tiny fraction of his main opulences. He's maintaining the entire creation just by an iota of his supreme power. So let's get into the details of Krishna's opulences. These are very, very special and very satisfying to the heart. Arjuna asks in text number 12, after hearing what Krishna has mentioned about himself, he says, text 12 and 13, Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rishayah Sarve Devarishir Naradasthatha Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna said, You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Arjuna is accepting whatever Krishna has spoken about himself. Now one might say, because Arjuna is Krishna's friend, so he is accepting. No, Arjuna is giving reference, or he is speaking on the authority of the previous great souls like Narada, Asita, Devala. And now Krishna is also himself declaring that he is the supreme source of all that be. So Arjuna is not thinking, yeah, Krishna, I think you are right, what you say is right. So this doesn't work. I feel, I think. When it comes to spirituality, people have all kinds of speculations. On other subjects, they dare not give their opinion, but when it comes to spirituality, God, everyone wants to give their opinion, though they know nothing. I feel, I think. This doesn't work on this path. It doesn't work anywhere. Because we can only think from whatever little intelligence we have from our previous karma. So we have to quote proper authorities. Sometimes people get into arguments. Sometimes they argue with devotees also. But the arguments are baseless, and we should also not get into any argument with a person who is not ready to quote from a proper authority, proper scripture. We should not waste our time with such people, because such people will never be convinced, because they are speaking from their own perspective, their mind, their little limited intelligence, and they have no authentic source to quote from. In the court of law, if we go and say, my dear sir, my lord, I think this person is sinless, please release him. And the judge asks, why do you say so? Oh, I feel so, I think like that. The judge will say, no, Baba, you have to quote from the law book. The law book says this, according to this, he is criminal. He has committed a crime, he is to be punished. Similarly, the law books are scriptures. So if somebody argues with us about God, wants to discuss, if the basis of that discussion is not scriptures, then we should not waste time trying to convince such people or even discussing this issue. Because this can go on because they are speaking from the level of their false ego, whatever they think and feel is right. So we can never convince such people. So don't waste your time, rather work on something that will add some value to your own life, save your energy. So everything has to be done based on the authority. You have to quote the law book, you have to quote the previous authorities, like acceleration due to gravity, the small g we have read in our school and colleges. So the value Newton has given is 9.8. Whenever we performed an experiment, it never came out to be 9.8, it was 10, 11, like that. Now if we write that in our examination paper, we won't get marks. They say, no, Newton says this, he is the authority. Similarly, when we quote an authority, then our statements carry weight, it carries value. So if somebody is not willing to discuss the subject matter based on scriptures, based on previous authorities, great souls, don't waste your time. Just leave the place or busy yourself with something worth doing. There's no point discussing or something on the level of false ego. So Arjuna says, Sarvam etadritam manne yan mam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danavaha. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Krishna had said this. And now I'll read the next two texts continuously. Swayam evatmanatmanam vettatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. Therefore, text 16, Vaktum arhasi asheshena divya hi atma vibhutayah yabhir vibhutibhir lokan imam stam vyapya tishtasi. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Tell me your opulences in detail. Till now you have spoken briefly. And it's not that Arjuna is not aware of Krishna's opulences, but Arjuna is asking for people like us. So he's not interested in seeing Krishna's opulences, he is more interested in Krishna's sweetness. But he's asking Krishna to show his opulences in detail to establish his supremacy once and for all for people like us who don't have much faith unless we see something grand. Katham vidyamaham yogims tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chinteyosi bhagavan maya. Text 17. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? हम आपको कैसे याद रखें? Because the goal is to remember you always. So how can we remember you when we can't see you in person? How can we know you? Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah kathaya triptirhi shrunvato nasti me amritam. O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So sometimes people might find spiritual life or scriptural words, discourses boring in the beginning. But that's because our hearts are impure. But if we continue to hear, the more we hear, the more our taste for hearing will increase. Because the heart gets purified through such hearing of divine words coming from the scriptures. The more we hear, the more the words of the scriptures become relatable. The more we engage in devotional service, the more the devotional service becomes relishable. Initially, there may be some inertia, there may not be too much interest or too much taste. But if we continue, the taste will gradually come and then we'll start relishing it. So in response to now Arjuna's question, Krishna starts explaining his opulences. We'll just go through the list one by one. And they are all self-explanatory. We just have to hear with rapt attention and just enjoy the opulence, the supreme power of Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Hantate Kathaishyami Divyahi Atma Vibhutayah Pradhanayatah Kuru Shreshta Nasti Anto Vistarasya Me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasya Stitah Aham Adischa Madhyamcha Bhutanamanta Evacha." Text 20. I am the super soul of Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Text 21. Adityanam aham Vishnur Jyotisham Raviram Shuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Now please remember, as we discussed earlier, Krishna is going to explain, among this I am this, among these I am this. Now Krishna is not literally these people, but he is trying to explain that all these glorious positions, objects, people that exist in this world, their power, their opulence, their beauty is because of him. That's what he is trying to say. And he is the best of the lot in whatever we try to zero down upon. Okay, these are the best things. So the best is this. So Krishna says, I am that then. So he is the best of the best. He is the reason behind the best of the best. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, that means the wind gods, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. The moon is the king of stars. I am the moon. If you talk about the stars, that means I am the supreme. If you consider me to be a star, I am the supreme star, superstar, real superstar. Text 22. Vedanam Samavedo Asmi Devanam Asmi Vasavah Indriyanam Manaschasmi Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Of the Vedas I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses I am the mind, because mind controls all the senses. So mind is the superior sense. And in the living beings I am the living force. That means the consciousness. Without consciousness we are dead. So he's saying he's a sustaining principle. He is the reason behind the beauty, opulence of everything. Text 23. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi Vittesho Yaksharakshasham Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meruhu Shikharinam Aham. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kubera. He is their king. Of the Vasus, I am fire, Agni. And of the mountains, I am Meru. Meru is the tallest and the most glorious mountain. It is the pivot of the universe. And on top of Meru mountain, Lord Brahma sits. His planet is situated on that mountain. And it is made of gold. It is explained in the scriptures. Text 24. Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam vidhi partha brihaspatim senaninam aham skandah sarasam asmi sagarah. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, the commander-in-chief of the demigods. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean, the mighty ocean. 25. Maharshinam Briguraham Giram Asmi Ekam Aksharam Yagyanam Japayagyasmi Sthavaranam Himalayah. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, of the Yagyas, I am the supreme Yagya, that is the Sankirtan Yagya, the chanting of the holy names. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas, the mighty Himalayas. 26. Ashwattha sarva vrikshanam devarshinam cha naradaha Gandharvanam chitraratha siddhanam kapilo munihi. Of all trees, I am the banyan tree, and of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitrarath, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila, the great Kapila Muni, who is also considered to be one of the incarnations of Krishna. Chitrarath is the king of the Gandharvas, the class of demigods very expert in arts and music. Text 27. Uchchaishravasam ashvanam vidhi mam amritodbhavam airavatam gajendranam naranam cha naradhipam. Of horses know me to be Uchchaishrava, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. During the Samudra Manthan Leela, this horse had also come out. It was taken by the king of demons, King Bali. And in the same churning, the Airavat elephant, which was taken by Indra, also appeared. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavat, and among men, I am the monarch, the king. King is supposed to be the leader of all the men. Text 28. Ayuddhanam aham vajram dhenunam asmi kamadhuk prajanash chasmi kandarpaha sarpanam asmi vasukihi. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt, the Vajra, which Indra holds. He can reduce any mountain to powder in an instant when he uses his thunderbolt. It's a king of weapons in this material world. Among cows, I am the Surabhi cow, the desire-fulfilling cow. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Vasuki is the king of snakes. 29. Anantaschasmi naganam varuno yadasamaham pitrinam ariyama chasmi yamaha samyamatamaham. Of the many hooded nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna, Ananta Shesh. He has thousands of hoods. So Krishna says, I am that. Among the aquatics, the in charge is King Varuna. So Krishna says, I am Varuna then. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, who is the king of the Pitriloka, where the ancestors reside. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yamaraj, the lord of death, the universal judge, who judges people according to their good and bad karma and awards them punishment and rewards. Text 30. Prahladaschasmi daityanam kalah kalyatamaham mriganam cha mrigendravaham Vantayescha Pakshinam. Among the Daityas, the demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. There are demons, उसमें भी कोई best होगा. The best is Prahlad. He is a devotee, so I am Prahlad. Among subduers, the one which humbles everyone, I am Time. Time humbles everyone. If some people think I am most beautiful, most powerful, most influential, most knowledgeable, just wait. Time will take away everything, including our body itself, our sensory power, everything. Among beasts, I am the lion. Lion is supposed to be the king. And among birds, I am Garuda, the king of birds, the mighty carrier of Lord Vishnu. Text 31. Pavanaha pavatam asmi Ramaha shastra britamaham Jashanam makaraschasmi Srotasam asmi janavi. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark, the most dangerous one. And of the flowing rivers, I am the Ganges, the best of rivers. 32. Sarganam adirantascha madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vadah pravadatamaham. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end and also the middle. O Arjuna, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self. And among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Among all types of sciences, the science of self-realization, the science of the soul is considered to be the best. Krishna says, I am that, because that is valuable life after life after life that can help us get liberated from the cycle of birth and death forever. And among logicians, when people are talking based on logic, they can go on talking logic, but as soon as truth is presented, nobody has anything to say. So Krishna says, I am that conclusive truth among logicians. Text 33. Akshranam ch akaro asmi dvandvah samasikasya cha aham evakshayah kalo dhataham vishwato mukhah. Of letters, I am the letter A, that means the beginning. And among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time. And of the creators, I am Brahma. 34. Mrityuhu sarva haraschaham ubhavascha bhavishyatam kirtihi shrir vakcha narinam smritir medha dhritihi kshama. I am the all-devouring death, the most powerful force in the world. And I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be, all that is yet to come. Remember, I will be the one who will create that. Among women, the most glorious qualities, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. These qualities glorify a woman, and they are found in them in abundance. Text 35. Brihat Sama Tatha Samnam Gayatri Chandasamaham Masanam Margashirshvaham Ritunam Kusumakarah. Of the hymns in the Sama Veda, I am the Brihat Sama. It's the best of the hymns. And of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashirsha, November, December. That is considered to be a very, very special month. So many festivals are celebrated, and the weather is also neither too cold. December may towards the end it gets, but November, December is still very pleasant. And mainly because of many festivals. And of seasons, I am flower bearing spring. Spring is the best season. Tyutam chalayatam asmi tejas tejasvinam aham jayo asmi vyavasayo asmi sattvam sattvatam aham. I am also the gambling of cheats. Among the cheaters, gambling is the best. A gambler is considered to be the greatest cheater. So he says, and cheating is considered to be anybody who is a good cheater can be a great gambler. He says, among the gamblers, I am the cheat. I am also the gambling of the cheats. Among all processes of cheating, gambling is the supreme. So Krishna says, I am that, in that also. And of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. 37. Vrishninam Vasudeva Asmi Pandavanam Dhananjaya Muninam Apiyaham Vyasah Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva, that is Krishna. Krishna appeared in the Vrishni dynasty. And of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Among the Pandavas, Arjuna is the best, so I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa. And among great thinkers, I am Ushana, that is Shukracharya. They are the best in their field. Krishna says, I am that then. So as I mentioned in the beginning, Krishna is saying their powers are because of me. They are reflecting my power. Text 38. Dando damayatam asmi nitirasmi jigit satam maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatamaham. Among all means of expressing lawlessness, I am punishment. Punishment stops all kinds of lawlessness. And those who seek victory, I am morality. Morality always leads to victory in the end. Of secret things, I am silence. Silence is most, you can say, mystifying or mystical. And of the wise, I am the wisdom. 39. Yacchapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna natadasti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Krishna is telling the truth. Nobody else has made that claim. He is telling the truth. We are all existing because of Krishna's grace. We can't even breathe without His will. So we have to continuously be grateful to Him and keep thanking Him. And express that gratitude through our words and actions by taking some time out every day, remembering Him, chanting His beautiful holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Worshipping His deity form, reading scriptures that He has left for us, associating with devotees, hearing from them like that. That way we should definitely spend time on a regular basis. That will be the expression of our gratitude for whatever we have received from the Lord. 41. Nanto asti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha tuddeshatah prokto vibhutir vistaro maya. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Krishna's opulence is limitless, but is just given a hint. Text 41. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam shrimad urjitam eva va tattad eva vagachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. Now Krishna just in one word he says, know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. If you see something very beautiful, opulent, glorious, no, it is just a tiny spark of my real splendor. Nobody can really understand my glory, but they can understand a fraction by my mercy. If you see if you combine all the beauty of the world, know that it is just a tiny reflection of my original beauty. If you see combine all the opulence of the entire creation, know that it's just even then it's just a fraction of my opulence, so that we can develop a feeling of awe and reverence towards Krishna, how great he is. Krishna has given some hint, but he says my opulence is beyond all this. We can't understand. All of it combined together is simply a tiny fraction of my supreme opulence, supreme grandeur. 42 in the last verse. Athava bahu naitena kim gyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself I pervade and support this entire universe. Single fragment. That is Krishna's glory. Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. He is having multifarious energies. Just by his desire they spring into action and they do whatever he desires. He just has to desire. He doesn't have to work hard. And he is so powerful, so opulent, so great that with a single fraction of his power, fraction of his opulence, he can create, he can maintain and he can destroy countless universes. So why not worship such a great Lord? We all want to devote our time and energy to serve the greatest, but even the greatest in this material world cannot stay the greatest for long. Somebody else will come and then eventually they'll all have to die. But Krishna is the greatest, and when we serve him we receive the greatest benefits. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.